Right. Well, thanks everyone for attending Netcapital's live Q&A with Wilder, the CEO of FinTron. Today, we're going to go through a couple of questions. We're going to dig into FinTron and the company, learn a little bit more about it, learn a little bit more about the team, and yeah, just kind of dig in. For everyone who's attending, I encourage you all to ask questions about FinTron from the founder here. There's a Q&A function at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Anyone's free to ask a question, and I'll throw them in along the way as appropriate, kind of and try and keep things in the flow of everything. As a reminder, FinTron is live currently on Netcapital and raising funds. So anyone today can go and invest in FinTron if they'd like. And I am going to include the link to their offering page, which has more information about FinTron in the chat function below. It's also in the email invite you got when you signed up for this. You can also find it on Netcapital. So if anyone has questions, please ask them along the way. And in the meantime, Wilder, thanks for joining us.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on.
So Wilder, before we dive in, why don't you just give us a brief overview of FinTron? What is it?
So FinTron is a broker-dealer in formation and a banking application that provides investing and banking services for millennials and Gen Zs, so individuals 18 to 39, who have never invested before. So we're targeting about 40 to 60 million individuals who've never invested, never been educated in investing, first-time investors to come onto our platform, gain access to unlimited trading, banking products, debit cards with free ATM withdrawals, educational products, basically a sound investing environment for your first trade, for your first bank account, or for your second or third, depending on who joins. But we're trying to to grant access to finance for all, for everyone, at a low monthly rate, with some great features, products, and education.
That's awesome. And of course, we at Netcapital are all about kind of bringing finance to people who previously didn't have access. So we obviously love what you're up to. So before we dive into the product itself, can you talk to us a little bit about the team you've assembled around FinTron and what the experience is and why investors might want to back your team?
Yeah, so we're run by younger individuals. We are a young millennial investment platform created by young millennials, but we have a very strong executive team and board of directors. So on our board and executive team, we have over 100 years in financial experience. Our chief compliance officer's got over 25 years on Wall Street. Our chief operating officer's got over 40 years in planning pensions, some of the largest pensions in the United States, like Boland Corporation. We've got a great marketing team. We've got Ian Smith, who actually did the global rebranding for Kraft Heinz. He worked for Mondelez Corporation. He works with a number of startups now. We've got a digital ads team who's working on scaling and preparing our go-to-market strategy. And this is a Digital Surgeons in New Haven. And the CEO of Digital Surgeons, Pete Sina, is actually sitting on our advisory board. He's very well vested in our success. So we believe we'll have some great success onboarding clients. The firm that's doing our digital ads, Digital Surgeons, they've actually worked with SoFi Invest. They helped them acquire 25,000 users. They've worked with Forbes, a number of other financial institutions. So we've got a pretty sound marketing team, compliance team, financial team. And now we're just, we're raising capital, and we're looking to take on some new directors onto our board. And that brings me to our board of directors. We've actually got Mark Ritter, who's on our BOD, and he was actually once the chief operating officer of Deutsche Bank, I believe in, was it 2007? To 2008, 9, 10? And then on board Morgan Stanley until 2010. Board Morgan Stanley. He had over 1,000 staff under him, a couple billion in assets. So we've got some huge experience on the financial side, driving the younger team. So the younger team sort of drives the product, the older team, the regulatory. So we've got a great mix, here at FinTron.
And it sounds like your board is pretty involved if they're right there in the office with you.
Yeah, Mark's here with us now. He likes to work here in the mornings and in the afternoons sometimes. Our CCO is in New York City right now. He works out of the city, and with COVID-19, we've asked him to work remote. And our chief operating officer is an older gentleman, and he's usually here about 2 days a week. He's a little less involved, but he's still on the roster as full-time. And as we launch the product, he'll come into a more full-time position, doing account applications, approvals, and like.
That's really exciting. So as we circle back to the product itself, before we dive in, Talk to us about the problem you're trying to solve. What are the issues in finance right now that you're trying to tackle?
Yes. So I think there's negativity around finance with the 2008 financial crisis, with public scandal in the banking sector. And a lot of people are intimidated to get into investing. Banking, there's large fees around it. There's a lot of jargon. It's very confusing. So we've created as a product that allows young individuals to grant access to the investing markets, but in a more controlled manner than Robinhood. You may be familiar with Robinhood and their push notifications to encourage people to invest when securities are up 20%, or to invest when they're down 20%, and confetti, and less education. And what we've done is we've built a more sound product that includes education, that includes some investing security parameters and things of like. We've also built out a game, the FinTron Challenge, or recently renamed to the FinTron U, where you can actually play with fake cash, and you can invest in a simulated environment to get comfortable before you actually cross over to the investment product. We have blogs, we have lessons and assessments. So we encourage financial education and a holistic approach to investing and banking, as opposed to going in there, leveraging your portfolio, taking out margin loans, and blowing yourself up.
That's great. So let's dive into that a little bit. So it sounds like you've got kind of two aspects to the product itself. You have the education and the actual trading app. So can you tell us, starting off with the education, can you dive a little deeper? Kind of where did that come from? As a user, what does that look like for me?
Yes, so we built the investing game in collaboration with an old professor of ours who taught the FN 250 class. It's one of our professors, and he was looking for an alternative way to teach first investments, as opposed to looking up security prices online and putting them in on a spreadsheet. So we actually built a game that tracks performance, interactive charts, and adds social aspects to investing, where you compete against friends. You get $100,000 fake cash. You can buy any one of our 650 securities, and then you can compete against your friends and say, hey, I made this much gain loss, or this is why I bought this security. And then, throughout the platform, there's educational hints. So anywhere on the platform you go where there's, jargon, something that can be confused, we annotate it out with a little info pop-up. And then we also promote our clients or our users to read our blogs, our educational lessons, and then take assessments to try and benchmark their proficiency in investing.
Very cool. And then the app itself, where people can actually go and make transactions and buy, kind of what does that look like? What would it look like to me as a consumer?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, not a problem. So moving over to the kind of the app side of things and the kind of live financial aspect of things, what does that app look like? What would it look like to me as a user?
So full disclosure, right now we're applying with FINRA for a broker-dealer's license. We're towards the end of the application. We're hoping to get a final decision relatively soon. But if you were to log on as a regular user, you'll apply for an account. It's about 15 questions to apply for a brokerage account. We then run it through a background check. We'll approve the account on our end, in accordance to broker-dealer policies. And then you'll be able to log into your investing account through your iOS application and soon Android. Basically, you log in. You deposit funds using a Plaid integration. So just like you invest on Netcapital, you link your Plaid account. It's very simple to link a bank account, and you place a deposit. And then 4 to 5 to 6 days, business days later, you'll receive your cash, and then you can go and buy securities. So we offer fractional securities, or we will offer post-registration. We offer 650 fractional securities. So you can go in and you can place an order for Apple for as little as $10, and you can buy $10 of Apple or $10 of Amazon. And you can participate in the gain loss of that company proportionate to that small investment that you make. So it's a good way to dip your toes. And then we have repeat investment features. So you could actually set a repeat investment in the background, and we'll invest passively for you over time and average you in. And then we have budgeting tools. You could set repeat budgets. So we'll actually force money into your brokerage account based on a budget that you create within the application, as well as the meal calculator. So, a big problem with young people is meal planning and spending on meals. So we actually run a calculator that helps you save cash on your meal spend by eating in versus eating out. We help you project those savings, and then on the first of the month, we force them into your account so you don't have that capital to spend. So, we're creating stickiness on our platform. We're building our assets under management, but we're also creating a great experience for our clients, to build sound investment accounts, both from investing, from the saving perspective with our budgets. And then we also offer the banking product. So what's cool is through our partner, when you open a bank account with FinTron, you get a free debit card, and then you get free ATM withdrawals globally. So we'll reimburse any ATM fee from any ATM, be it a FinTron Radius ATM or a third-party ATM. And you also earn interest on your debit account. So depending on the federal funds rate, we pay a rate of interest on the account. Right now, it's at about 0.15%, if we launch today, which is a lot higher than even, a lot of savings accounts interest. For a lot of these accounts, you'd actually have to pay a premium or a monthly subscription fee. But ours is covered all under a $2 monthly fee. That's the unlimited trading, the banking, the debit, the ATMs, etc. And actually, I'll have Matt join the meeting, and we could do a brief demo if you'd like. Matt, could you just jump into my email and open? Or let me send it to you, Matt. I hadn't expected to do a demo. I thought it was Q&A, but I think a demo would be nice.
Sure, I'm sure everyone would love to kind of see what the product actually looks like live. And while you're working on that too, you alluded to them, but can you talk to us a little bit about the partnerships you've created to facilitate everything?
Yeah, so we've actually, we've partnered with Apex Clearing, one of the largest clearing firms here in the United States. Apex Clearing actually launched with Robinhood. When they came out, they're currently the clearing firm for Stash, SoFi, there's another one in there, First Trade. And these individual businesses have a couple million clients each. So they've actually proven scale through Apex Clearing, and we expect to do the same. So Apex actually took a stake in our company, and they gave us dramatically reduced fees, and that's why we're allowed to offer everything we offer for just $2 a month. And then we've partnered with Radius Bank. So Radius Bank is out of Boston. They're pioneering a lot of new trends in digital banking, including that fee-free ATM withdrawals. They actually just got purchased by Lending Club. The merger is still pending, so eventually we'll be partnered with Lending Club. We've got two huge partners to scale the product on the banking and the investing side, and we're actually we're FDIC insured on the banking end, and we will be SIPC insured post-approval with FINRA on the brokerage side. So it's a very safe account, insured. Obviously, we've undergone all of the relevant cybersecurity metrics, but we plan to lean heavily on our partners for the scaling of this product.
Awesome. And while you're prepping the demo, we had our first investor question. So just to answer that right off the bat is a question from Chris is, what differentiates FinTron from any other investment firm, and how do you plan to scale?
Mm-hmm. So we have a bunch of differentiators. The biggest one being these repeat investments that we currently offer through the budgeting tools. No other competitor offers these in-depth budgeting tools that set repeat investments into your brokerage account. We also do philanthropic, or we participate with philanthropic endeavors. So we have committed to 6% of our revenues to go towards charitable donations and a student loan forgiveness program. So we're kind of putting our money where our mouth is around investor education and supporting young millennials and Gen Zs. And if you look at it, the other firms, they offer fractional. Most of them do end of day or next morning. We actually do real-time fractional trading. And then, of course, we have ATM withdrawals that are free globally. We have interest-bearing checking accounts. So all under one roof, you get banking, investing, repeat investments, et cetera. We do risk benchmarking. So we have a number of, IP assets that differentiate ourselves. We have a number of marketing assets that differentiate ourselves. And scaling, we plan on leaning on our partners, Apex and Radius, scale, the clearing, and the backend. The technology, we actually use load balancers on AWS. We use auto-scaling instances. So we're configured technologically to scale. And then we've actually got staff in the pipeline to scale up our brokerage endeavors. So we have Adam, who's about to pass his principal examination. We've got Ryan, who's taking his examinations, and Scott. So we've got 3 principals that will actually roll into managerial roles at the broker-dealer level. And we have 4 current principals. So we'll actually have 7 principals expected by the end of year 1, as well as our support staff. So we have a pretty good plan to scale in the first year. And we're expecting or anticipating up to 100,000 clients in the first year as a function of, capital injected.
That's great. And was there also, if I remember right, you have not only are you planning to scale from a kind of infrastructure standpoint, but you also have some really great plans to scale from just a user acquisition standpoint. Is that true with your marketing partners?
Yes. So with digital surgeons, we've already planned out our marketing campaigns. We've been running the ads and the ads manager to establish, credibility and cost per click and those sorts of metrics to base projections off of. We were just informed actually by a very prominent marketing agency of the CACs around in the investment space. So we're estimating a CAC, based on research from this third party and our own research of around anywhere from $15 to $30 in the first year. We anticipate, and we are raising in the first year, up to $2 million. So it will be a function of that $2 million figure divided by the the 15 to $30 CAC.
Great. Did you want to run a demo, or I've got some other questions as well, depending on.
How about Matt's computer? Matt, are you in the meeting?
What now? Because aren't you?
No, just click on the link. Yeah.
Hop over here.
Yeah, I'll go over that side.
You have to use the trackpad.
All right, Wilder, looks like we've got you. A little bit of feedback, though. There we go.
Let me just turn the volume up here. Can you hear me? See me?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, you just have to enable the screen sharing for me.
Done. You should be able to share now.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. So yeah, a big part of our offering is of course our technology. We have a very, very cool interface in the investing application. I'll actually share just the smartphone. So we are FinTron, Finance Reborn. We have some marketing content here on the download page. So if someone downloads and they're still a little bit curious about our offering, they can browse through exactly what we do, from fractional investing to banking to philanthropy. Signing up is incredibly easy. As I was saying, it's about 15 questions through our sign up interface. And then we want to log in. Log in as well. So we've got real-time interactive charts with varying intervals. Some of you who are on here may be familiar with Robinhood, Stash, or the other investing applications. It's pretty customary to have interactive charts. You can see the interactive gain or loss over time. You could see your securities chart over longer intervals, as far as 1 year to all time, the lifetime of the account. You've got your cash, the securities that you hold in the portfolio. We list out the average cost basis. We have the current security price, and we benchmark it against the gain and loss. We also have a watch list down here, so you could add securities to your watch list and keep an eye on them. And everything on here that could be confused, even things as easy as watch lists, we annotate out to the client. So we start out by searching for securities. You know what? Actually, the first thing a client is going to do is they're going to link their bank account. So look, transfer funds. You want to deposit, transfer funds, or add a bank account, it's as easy as using the Plaid integration. We've enabled only one single account, so it'll tell me here that I can't add the account. Here, actually, let me drop this account, and then I'll add another one just for demo purposes. So super easy Plaid integration. Just select the bank. You do user_good is the demo pass. We are going to keep moving here. We'll add the Plaid checking account. As you can see, we've dropped an account, and now we want to make a deposit. Super easy, maybe take you about 1.5 minutes to add an account, make your first deposit. Now we submitted our deposit. Everything we do gets utilizes email updates, which I guess I'll skip over for time's sake. But basically, you'll get an email, hey, your deposit's been submitted. Once you've submitted a deposit, Usually a client's going to place a transaction, so you can search through our securities. What's really great about our platform is we offer abbreviated data, company metrics, securities charts. You want to buy securities, you jump into the security itself. You get the real-time securities gain loss. You get the interval gain loss. You can do it as far as a month, etc. You can see there was a stock split here. You want to go ahead and buy the security. Actually, I'll go back. So another one of our advantages is that we actually do risk benchmarking. So if you go down here, we offer trade volume, so all the customary items, interactive trade volume. Then we offer risk benchmarking. So basically, we take 3 standard deviations from the mean return of Apple, and we project the expected return. So 99.9% of the time, a security or a data set will perform within 3 standard deviations of the mean. So that's what we project here, and then we benchmark it against the risk tolerance. So we actually have a cool risk assessment you can run through. You answer some questions about your risk profile, and we assign to you a risk tolerance. Once you've got your risk tolerance, you can then benchmark it against the security performance. So this is downside of 18% to an upside of 28% is your risk range. We describe for you what that is down here. For time's sake, I'll breeze through that. Basically, we go down here now and you'll see, okay, hey, look, I've got an 18% downside risk tolerance. This might be Apple, but it's still kind of risky for my taste. So maybe I should reconsider my investment. So it's just an extra layer of consideration for the client. And then here we've got annual performance over 10 years of security. And this is really cool here is we actually play for the client the bid and ask volume, and we break it down using imagery. So this basically shows what kind of liquidity is in the market. And we break it down by showing people like, hey, these are all the people that are buying versus all the people that are selling. Hey, a lot more people are buying, are selling than buying. And then we explain it again. We break it down. Hey, this is how the bid works. This is how the ask works. And this is, investing 101. So you want to buy a security. It's as easy as selecting the type of market you'd like to place, type of order. I mean, this is a market order. Again, as little as $10. The duration. So market orders are good for 1 day. By 4 p.m. it'll get canceled. So again, we explain the whole process. How does investing work? How do you place an order? You read the disclosures, check the box, and place an order for Apple. So now you've placed your first order for a fractional share of Apple. And you can check the order history of this Apple order. So it was submitted, it hasn't yet been filled. If I go to a previously filled order, you'll see here we explain it in layman's terms. Hey, you bought some VWO at 9:30 a.m., $50 was placed, you filled at $44.19 a share, the duration was 1 day. So digestible content for new investors. So that's the search function. We also offer a sector breakdown, so you can search by sector, depending on the things you like. It makes it easier for visual investors. So maybe I'm a tech guy, it'll bring me to all the securities in the tech sector. Within the tech sector, then we could then go sort by biggest mover, market cap, and again, everything is annotated out. And you can buy your security. That's our searching securities. It's, that's how we stack up against Robinhood. We have more in-depth data. We've got some more investor-friendly materials. We've got a more built-out page to give some more information to investors. Now, if we want to do some other features, we've got repeat investments. So you select an investment you'd like to set over a period of time. So this is asking me to update my current one, so I'll continue to update my current repeat investment. You select an interval of time you'd like to invest over. So let's just say for 1 year from tomorrow, I want to do $50 a week, $100 every 2 weeks. You select the account you want to transfer from, check the box, and you apply it. So now we're going to drop $100 every 2 weeks into S&P 500 for you. We'll place a deposit. Once the deposit clears, we'll place the trade for you passively in the back end. So potentially you don't even have to log back into your account, until you feel that you've accumulated sufficient wealth that it's, relevant to check. You've got it here. You've got your repeat investment scheduled. So if we Check here. Okay, I have one for $50 a month under a different repeat. I've got my $100 for every 2 weeks here. Maybe I don't have the money this week. I can update it. Maybe I'm out of money in general. I could delete it forever. And this is how we set repeat investments. So you could actually passively invest over long periods of time on our portfolio or our platform. We've got our meal calculator, which I was discussing. So you actually put your inputs of meals eaten per day. I eat out 7 times a week. Average cost of meal when I eat in or when I eat out, and then my groceries per week. We run an algorithm that benchmarks the eat in versus eat out cost. And then you select the number of days you want to eat out less during the week, and we'll project for you the number of savings. So basically you'd save $22 a week if you didn't eat out 4 times a week, or $99 a month. And that's because when you eat in, it's only $4.29 based on your grocery spend. It's $10 when you eat out. So you'd save $22 a week or $99 a month. We're going to continue. We'll select the bank account, and then on the first of the month, we'll actually force that $99 into your account. So now you're forced, to abide by your eating in and your meal savings plan. First of the month, it gets dropped into your account. You can check it here on your calendar. Similarly, we do the master budget, which I was discussing previously. You enter all of your various incomes, your variable expenses, your fixed expenses. We give you your free cash flow number. You invest a % of that free cash flow. And again, everything is annotated out to help the investor, learn exactly what they're doing and guide them step by step. We're going to place this investment. $47 is going to be transferred on the first of each month, forced into the account. So now you've got passive investments. You've got passive savings from your budgets, all coming into your brokerage account. So we've got risk assessments, we've got budgets, we've got trading, we've got repeat transactions. We have a great support build out. Everything is programmatic. You can change everything on your account, from password to PIN to email address, all through our programmatic interface. So that reduces overhead and support for FinTron and makes it easier for the client. So I'll log in now to an account with some banking populated in the transactions. So we head on over to banking. And as you can see, we actually have interactive charts for our banking. So if you do 1 month, you'll see we have the initial deposit here of $100 minus the opening service charge and another service charge we had them populate for us. And then we've got a $10 service charge more recently. So you'll see there's an interactive chart, and this will obviously be a lot more, there'll be a lot more detail when considering a client who uses their bank account daily. This is in the dev end, so you see there's not a lot of activity, but we do interactive banking charts. We populate for the client the transaction history. We do deposit and withdrawal, linking bank accounts just like you would with the investment account through Plaid. So it's very simple. You can transfer to friends using ACH information. You can check your transfer history. So we've actually broke it down for people. You could do deposit history, withdrawal history, transfer to friend history, check deposit history, all itemized and in separate locations. So you don't have to, like your traditional bank account, look through your entire transaction history to find a transaction. So make that easy. You can view account statements within the application. You can send them to your email. So it's all really easy use. It's tailored towards young people like myself for my bad banking experiences, as well as all the people we've ran through our focus groups and people collaborating on the project. We have your show bank account number. And even for transparency, we've added disclosures as itemized pages. So you could read your banking disclosures. You could read the fees disclosures, truth and savings disclosures, because we're just trying to provide transparency to our clients. And finally, we've got check deposits. So you've got all the functions of a regular brokerage account with all of our added features. You've got all the banking features plus the free ATM withdrawals and interest. And it's all under one roof here. And then we have, of course, the FinTron challenge, which I'll show you guys real quick. So this is the game that I was discussing previously. Okay. So this is the game. You get $100,000 in fake cash. You can play against your friends. So yeah, you can create games, you could join contests, you could play against friends, you could see what's going on in your stock games. So we got Stratford stock game. You got people throwing up gifs and explanations as to why they bought portfolios. You could see real-time performance of their charts. You could see exactly what they bought in their portfolios. You could even buy securities to replicate their portfolios. So we've created this social investing game that introduces investing in a friendly manner to friends, to classrooms. So we're running this in high schools and colleges. We've got a very cool, similar to the investing platform, information pop-ups and consolidated data pop-ups and charting. And buying a security is just as easy as it is on the other platform. $10, you could buy a little bit of Apple, you could buy a little bit of Amazon, Nvidia, whatever it is. So this is the game, and this encourages conversions to the Invest product. And in line with our education, we've created this whole build out here with an easy toggle where you could read our blogs. So we've got all this great content that we licensed from a very popular financial author. If you want lessons, you could actually learn through lesson modules, anything from stock market all the way down to reviewing financial statements. And then you could assess yourself on all this content. So again, this feeds into our FinTron Invest product. Hopefully it'll work as a conversion, a system of conversion. But that's sort of the FinTron environment. And currently we're taking waitlisted users. On our marketing site. So you can kind of learn about our offering. And this is where we'll funnel our web traffic. It's an explanation of all the products we offer, breakdown of what we do and who we are, breakdown of investing, banking, of our learning product, of our popular press, and of course our waitlist to join our waitlist and receive email updates and notifications. So as you can see, we're a very technology heavy company. This product is sort of everything when considering the consumer's interface with the product. And then we have what's very proprietary, and I won't show here, is our admin panel. So we've actually leveraged programming to create a streamlined admin panel that does regulatory reporting, that does account applications, overviews, and review, etc. So it's all scalable solution, all utilizing program.
That's fantastic. Thanks for walking us through all that, Wilder.
No problem. Pleasure's mine, Rob.
Sure. So as a reminder, if anyone's got any questions about the demo or any other aspect of FinTron, please put it in the Q&A now. We've got a couple more questions I wanted to run through before we finish. The first is, Wilder, talk to me a little bit about the market for your product. I know you guys have identified a market, and I'd love to kind of hear more about your thinking and what you're targeting.
Yeah, so I'll start first with the competitors. You may have heard Robinhood onboarded 3 million users in the first quarter this year alone. Their average age is about 31. So it's kind of a testament to the demand. There's about 40 to 60 million individuals that have never invested in the ages 18 to 39. And that's specifically who we're targeting. So we're not targeting larger assets. We're targeting new investors that want to learn how to invest on a safer, more education-tailored platform. Now, we're not concerned about assets because we charge a subscription fee. So we're not trying to get churn in the account. We're not trying to do what Robinhood does and produce higher order volume so they can sell your trade flow. We're strictly charging a $2 a month fee. And we have some back-end revenues that we make on assets under management, securities under loan, et cetera. But the bulk of our revenues come from this subscription fee. So we're not internally inspired to promote churning or to promote aggressive trading. What we're here for is to provide sound investment products. So anyways, back to the market. The market is about 40, 60 million of available investors, individuals who have never invested before or never touched the market. So, our plan of attack is digital marketing. And we believe that if you're the first person to cross the screen, with a good value proposition and someone, is interested in banking or investing, then we'll acquire that user. So really it's a factor of, how well can we penetrate digital ads marketing and how well do we know our target market? And we believe we have, the edge on that because we are of the target market. in any other circumstance, it would probably be unheard of such a young broker-dealer launching. But we've leveraged, technology and the help of our advisors, board of directors, and our executive staff, to apply for this license and to get into a space that's traditionally managed by older individuals.
That's great. And so, talk to us a little bit about the progress so far. You've talked about how you're in the final process of the application. What are kind of the next major milestones that FinTron is going for?
So once we get our license, the proposed license, FinTron will start acquiring clients. So we'll go into the test environment for about a month. We estimate with about 20 of our friends and family that we've already outlined, and we'll test the product in a controlled environment. And then we'll launch the product live, and we'll basically open the floodgates to our waitlisted users first. And we'll onboard clients as quickly as we possibly can as we scale the technology in the back end. So we're looking at September, October 1 launch, depending on the application deadline and approval. And then we'll scale our staff accordingly, software accordingly, and we'll continue to raise capital to acquire more clients.
Great. And a user just asked the same question I was about to ask, which is kind of what do you see as a potential exit game plan, and what's your projected time frame on that?
Yeah, so Robinhood just raised, and Stash and Acorns, they all just raised in recent months, multi-million raises. I think Robinhood's most recent was 100 million, and Acorns, I believe, was in the tens of millions as well as Stash, I think 100 million. And all these valuations were on or around an $800 per client valuation. So a multiple of $800 per client. One exit strategy is to sell to a larger firm. I've had discussions with TD Ameritrade and NatWest, and basically the continual information that I receive from them is that it's incredibly difficult to acquire millennial users as a large corporation. So what we've seen is a lot of acquisitions in the space around digital B2B platforms like ours in an effort for these larger firms to acquire younger clients. So it's very much likely that we end up getting acquired by a larger broker dealer that's having trouble acquiring millennial users and wants to buy our lifetime clients from us at anywhere from a $700 to $800, $900 cost per user valuation. So that is a possible exit. And also if you review our financial projections, if we grow our clients in the first few years, and we right now we've projected 500,000 clients in 5 years, which is a conservative projection against what the industry has seen and competitors have seen. And if you boost those projections, and even at the 500,000 projections, we become a cash cow with our low overhead. So we could run it either two ways. The more likely being an acquisition in 2 to 3 years to a larger firm, but also as just as likely as running this, acquiring users, taking additional capital injections, and running the firm as a cash cow.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I had for now. If any last minute questions come in from the crowd, we're happy to take them. But otherwise, Wilder, really appreciate you taking the time, walking us through FinTron. Is there anything else you kind of want potential investors to know before we finish up today?
No, we're closing in on launch. We're waiting on the proposed application approval. And we do plan on raising the valuation, post-licensing. We do plan on, closing rounds post VC investment. So all just things to consider.
Great. Well, we appreciate you taking the time. Thanks everyone who participated, asked questions. Again, FinTron is live currently on Netcapital, raising money, and anyone can invest. For more information, go to netcapital.com/company/FinTron. And if you have additional questions for Wilder, you're always welcome to post them in the discussion board on their page. Oh, and we have one final question. You snuck it in at the last minute, right before I finished up. Are there any previous exits from the founders, Wilder?
So myself, no. I'm pretty young, 24. So I've only worked in management previous to this. I've got, a finance economics degree. The other co-founders are also pretty young. We have, the experience on the board of directors and on the executive staff. But I'm not sure Mark was in VC. He was more in corporate America. So no, actually, I don't believe that we've had any previous exits from the founders specifically. There may be an exit or two from some of our more entrepreneurial advisors and or BOD. or executive staff, but the founders know.
Great. Well, thanks. We're glad we were able to get that last question in. So again, thanks Wilder for taking the time. Thanks everyone for attending. There's more information and you can invest at netcapital.com/company/FinTron. And you're welcome to learn more there or continue the conversation on the discussion board. So thanks everyone for taking the time. Wilder, we appreciate it. And everyone take care.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.